it to be administrative dealings, as administrative as it gets for referees. So Libya winning the toss, they will have the first kick. And this is not tactics, this is instead a collection of prayers being offered up by men who are desperate to do this for the pride of their country. For Ghana, just cleaning out the togs. And you don't want to risk slipping as they head towards the penalty area. And Cape Town has seen some rain in recent times, so the pitch might be a little soft, but certainly not soggy. Really is anybody's game now. There's always going to be a tightly contested affair come the penalty shootouts. First penalty upon us. Stephen Adams, not been beaten in open play in this tournament. He has been beaten from the penalty mark, and in this penalty shootout he's beaten by Saleh. Libya on the score sheet first in this penalty shootout, and a good positive start from the Mediterranean Knights. Responsibility of Stephen Adams and Nashnoush. Both, bear in mind, were successful in their penalty shootout victories in the semi-finals. So Faisal Ali Saleh successful for Libya first up. And now for Michael Akufo to bring Ghana level. Nashnoush makes the first save. Akufo inheriting the captain's armband from Jordan Opoku as he was substituted late on for Jackson Owusu. It's first blood to Libya as Nashnoush makes what may very well be the critical save in this penalty shootout, but we've still got 4 rounds of penalties to come as a flare makes an illegal appearance in the crowd. Mu'taz Fadel now for Libya. Straight into the back of the net. Libya lead 2-0. Ghana with a kick to come, but it's looking good for Libya so far, the Mediterranean Knights. Off the bench. And success. Now, man of the match in the semi-finals against Nigeria, a man who was titanic again defensively for Ghana, the youngster from Asante Kotoko, Samuel Anusun, steps up to get Ghana on the scoreboard in this penalty shootout. Denied! Nashnoush with a save again! It's certainly turning out to be Libya's penalty shootout successes. They've had 2 successful penalty shootouts already at these championships. A third in succession would see them claim the title with only 1 win in the entire tournament. They could be as little as 1 kick away from claiming the Orange African Nations Championship of 2014. Well, Ahmed Al-Maghazi, Walitian being told to replace the ball. And now, is it on the penalty mark? Running up to slot home, Stephen Adams doesn't move. Libya lead 3-0 in this penalty shootout. Ghana with a kick to come. And the confident youngster Ambramatobra jogs up to the spot, but that just smashed not too far from the middle, but already his weight had been shifted to the opposite direction, relatively straight down the middle. And this is turning out to be a remarkable penalty shootout. Can Ghana get on the score sheet here? 2 saves from 2 for Nashnouch. Atobra sends Nashnouch the wrong way. He says to his coach, "Did it for you." It's a confident youngster, Abraham Atobra, as he did against Nigeria, confidently struck home the penalty. Mohamed Benouza signaling to El Ghadi to pull up his socks, quite literally. The penalty kick that could give the Mediterranean Knights their first continental silverware ever. A real star, Mohamed El Ghadi, is denied by Stephen Adams. At the very moment that El Ghadi had the opportunity to become his country's hero with 1 kick, he is denied by Adams, who keeps Ghana in this penalty shootout. But for how much longer? A real star in open play. El Ghadi has been denied in the penalty shootout. But Ghana now are still trailing by a kick, even if they convert from this penalty kick. 82 Africa Cup of Nations final. It was Ghana who emerged victorious in the penalty shootout. 32 years on, Libya are looking to reverse that result. Saka has to be successful, otherwise Libya are crowned champions. Godfred Saka of Adwana Stars to keep the Black Stars in this penalty shootout. He got a full hand on it, Nashnouch, but not enough to keep it out. Ghana can breathe a sigh of relief for now, but they still need a prayer to be answered and have Libya either miss or Stephen Adams make a save from this next penalty. Abdel Salam Omar, top goal scorer for this Libyan side in the tournament. Can he finish it off here? Denied by the Black Stars keeper. Stephen Adams is finishing off this penalty shootout the way Nashnouch started it. Successive saves. And Ghana can put themselves back on level terms with a successful penalty kick here. But I'll tell you this much. Jackson Owusu has got a huge amount of pressure on his shoulders as he steps up for Ghana. Libya, who thought they had this penalty shootout in the bag after Nashnouch had done all the hard work of successive penalty saves to start this penalty shootout, now needs to pull off another save against Owusu or hope the Ghanaian substitute misses. Owusu safely home. 3-3 after 5 penalties apiece. Ghana stay in this penalty shootout. Ghana stay in this penalty shootout with a convincing display from a couple of the youngsters. Stephen Adams is absolutely buoyed and overjoyed by what he's just managed to achieve. There is real tension for the Libyan fans. The emotion is unbelievable for the North Africans. El Tribi makes the terrible walk towards that penalty mark. Now the pressure is on him to give Ghana the lead. So successful defensively, the 21-year-old. So much asked of him here. Safely into the back of the net. And Libya are up by 1 again. This is sudden death, however. And now, if you miss, or if your opposition keeper makes a save, and in the corresponding kick, the other team succeeds in a penalty, it's game over. Ghana miss! Libya champions! Stepping up to the plate, Joshua Tijani, the left back, steps up and somehow misses a spot kick that he took oh so casually, far too nonchalant. And Libya have their first piece of continental silverware. There's utter disbelief from the players. Some simply can't believe that it's over. They keep looking at referee Banuza saying, is it a retake? Is it a retake? We don't know. Can we celebrate? There are a small band of Libyan fans on the far side celebrating, and Javier Clemente, the Spaniard, has been in the job for 2.5 months. He has already brought Libya their first piece of continental silverware. This is remarkable for a country that has not seen domestic football over the last 3 years. They're slowly getting back into it now. Amidst the political turmoil, the domestically based players, well, what is happening? There seems to be some confusion here, and I don't understand if their protests of Ghana have eventually come to the fore. Has the goalkeeper come flying off his line? It's turning out to be a rather farcical finish, but Ghana are protesting this. And celebrations seem to be there initially, but the penalty shootout is seemingly not over. Well, there it is. It is over. Initially the referee suggested it was, and then it was said it wasn't. I don't know where the confusion came from. Referee Banuza has signalled the end of this match, the end of this final, and Libya are officially crowned champions. Amidst confusion here at Cape Town Stadium, the North Africans get to celebrate. They may not have ever won the African Cup of Nations, but they are the only North African side to have won it on penalties. The African Nations Championship, Tunisia are the only North African side to have won both. But they finally have that piece of silverware that they so desperately desired on an emotional day for a country that has seen so much over the last 3 years. To come back and produce a performance as they did at these championships, you could say that they only won one match on their way to this title, but they were undefeated in 6. They were structured, they believed, and there really are a few players that put their hands up throughout these championships for this Libyan side. Libya with a remarkable victory to deny Ghana for a second time in 3 finals. The Black Stars will collect a silver medal. The inaugural event in 2009 ended in disappointment for Ghana. It's ended in disappointment for the Black Stars again. Maxwell Konadu still in disbelief. But this is the final kick, drilled wide by Tijani. He missed it. Huge relief for Clemente. He didn't believe it at first. There was hesitation. And there seemed to be miscommunication between the match officials. Confirmation of the orange man of the match. 3 successive penalty shootout successes for Libya. And they have the 2014 edition of the Orange African Nations Championship in their trophy cabinet now. They'll raise the trophy aloft shortly. But celebrating as the orange man of the match, Mohamed Abdallah, the man they call Nashnoush, from Al Ahly Tripoli. What a day for the Mediterranean Knights. A huge achievement when they qualified for the 2012 edition of the Africa Cup of Nations. But to claim silverware here is titanic. The man of the competition, the man of the tournament, as if there was any doubt. Constantis Ejike-Ozoenyi, the thoroughly impressive youngster from Enugu Rangers, who tried his luck in France, didn't quite get it right. He'll have his opportunities. He's an impressive youngster. Ozoenyi finishes the tournament with 3 goals, a host of assists. The trophy presentations will come shortly. Bernard Parker is on duty with his South African club Kaizer Chiefs, but he's the only player to have scored 4 goals at this tournament. Bernard Parker will have that trophy to his credit. He scored in all 3 of South Africa's group matches. 2 against Mozambique. He scored against Mali, and he scored a consolation goal against Nigeria from the penalty mark. Bernard Parker, who joined Katlego Mpela as 3rd highest goal scorer for South Africa with his 4 goals in this tournament. Ends the competition as the tournament's leading scorer, despite South Africa being eliminated in the group stages. The Kaizer Chiefs man is also leading the way in the Premier Soccer League. Success for Bernard Parker at this tournament in terms of goal scoring, but not the success that he was dreaming of. While the podiums are being set up for the trophy presentations, confirmation, it's Libya who are champions. They've won 4-3 on penalties. The penalties, Faisal Ali Saleh got the penalty shootout off to a positive start with a successful spot kick, and then Akufo denied by Nashnoush, down into his left. Big confident save from the Tripoli-based goalkeeper. Akufo, disappointment for him, hang his head. Fidel stepped up, came off the bench in the match, successfully struck home past Stephen Adams. Fist pump for him. Ainusan, so brilliant defensively throughout, not only the semi-final, not the final as well, but to be denied in the penalty shootout. Another great save from Nashnoush. Al-Maghazi would step up and slot it home. He's only 20, but not succumbing to pressure. He steered the ball home. The first of the successes for Ghana. The confident Abraham Matubra stepped up, smashed it home as he sent Nashnoush the wrong way. Didn't tuck in by very much, nearly missed. But then the comeback that Ghana were dreaming of. Stephen Adams denied El Ghadi, who if he had converted would have sealed Libya's success as champions. El Ghadi denied. And then Ghana needed to continue slotting their penalty kicks. Saka successful despite Nashnoush getting a full hand on it. Omar, another chance to wrap it up for Libya at the 3rd time of asking. Libya's top goal scorer at this competition couldn't succeed from the penalty mark as he steered it rather tamely and timidly low into the left of Stephen Adams, who's proved his abilities as a shot stopper and indeed a great goalkeeper with reflex actions, cat-like reflexes from the near side. After Omar was denied, Owusu pulled things up at 3-3 in the penalty shootout. Nashnoush. After Trevi had converted, Tijani sent it wide. Nashnoush going the right way, and had that been on target, probably would have had it covered. As Libya were crowned champions, and for a moment there was uncertainty. But ultimately, Mediterranean Knights are confirmed as champions and have their first piece of continental silverware. Playing for a nation, playing for a country devastated by civil war in recent times, and said they were doing it for the country, and they've done it. Flying on emotion, it's Libya. They will walk away as champions. They claim the check for $750,000 US as well. Ghana will walk away with $400,000 US. But also importantly for these sides, the world ranking points, the official caps, it'll build the confidence, it'll expand the pools of selection for the respective coaches, for the respective countries. Yahya Mohammed knows that he had his chances, just couldn't take them today, couldn't find the opportunities, and there is some huge disappointment for the likes of Bansi. Anusa, though, still sees the funny side of things, and while there are the dejected and downtrodden Ghanaian players, there are those who will put the loss behind them as professionals do and get back to business. They will try to inspire their country in years ahead. They will try to win their way into Black Stars teams to compete at respective tournaments over the years. But Javier Clemente being celebrated, and rightly so, for guiding Libya to this success so soon after arriving. He's being hoisted aloft. It's a celebratory mood. You think back to the tensions of the penalty shootout a few minutes ago, and now to the utter joy for the Libyans and the sheer disappointment for the Ghanaians. They're actually walking him away from the podium and towards the band of Libyan supporters on the far side of the park, who acknowledge Clemente as he waves towards them. He's certainly feeling a little unsteady on the shoulders of the players and technical team who are taking him out to the far side. Libya, the next hosts after Morocco of the Africa Cup of Nations. They wanted a successful Championship of African Nations as they build towards hosting the continent's premier showpiece in 3 years' time. Delight for the Libyan fans as they wait for the celebrations now of this African Nations Championship. The final trophy presentations, medal presentations for the players. Nigeria will receive their bronze medals, Ghana their silver, before Libya will claim their gold medals. Well, sheer joy and delight for this young band of men, many of whom relatively inexperienced. They're not the aging, experienced campaigners of seasons gone by. This is a very inexperienced squad who have made their way to South Africa and walked away with success. They had the elder statesmen, the likes of Ahmed Almani, who stepped up to the plate today in the absence of the suspended Vittori.
President, the head of delegation for Libya and the head of delegation for Ghana.
The dignitaries making their way up to the presentation podium ahead of the start of the trophy and medal presentations. Ghanaian and Libyan heads of delegation up on the stage FIFA President, CAF President, Minister of Sport and Recreation in South Africa.
South Africa to CAF, and from CAF to Rwanda to signal the host for CHAN 2016.
Among those watching on is the man who is in charge of the next host nation of the African Nations Championship, and that is Rwanda. The CAF President is hired to handing over the CAF flag ceremonial handover as South Africa as hosts of 2014 pass on the flag to Rwanda. Vincent Samwita, the president of the Federation of Rwandan Football Associations. Rwanda to host in 2016.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now commence with the awards ceremony. The CHAN 2014 Fair Play Award goes to Nigeria.
The start of the presentations, trophy and medal presentations. Nigeria claimed the Fair Play Award. Sepp Blatter handing trophy over to Chigozia Agbim, the Nigerian captain. He'll be up in a moment to collect a bronze medal with his Nigerian teammates. But the match officials for the third place playoff, South Africa's Victor Gomsh and his respective refereeing team, claiming their medals. Stevens Kumalo, Nego Yassin Hassan of Djibouti, Malang Dieu of Senegal. A tall referee who served as fourth official today, the last to receive his commemorative medal. But it was Nigeria who emerged victorious, courtesy of an 85th minute goal by Chinonso Obiozor, the Enugu Rangers man, set up by his Enugu Rangers teammate in Cristante Sejike Ozuenyi. The Nigerians receiving their medals, bronze medals, as they come away with third. Lost out in a penalty shootout to Ghana. They can come away with a host of positives from this tournament, having scored 12 goals in their first 4 matches. They struggled in their last 2 matches, only scoring 1 and late on in this third place playoff. Some of the taller members, some of the bigger defenders getting to walk away with their medals. Chigozie Agbim's side, Solomon Kwambe, Kunle Odunlame, Spuike Gwekwe having put in some big displays defensively. Some of the squad members who didn't get opportunities to put in any game time for Nigeria throughout this tournament. Chinonso Obiozor took his opportunity, first appearance in the tournament, scored the winning goal in the final. Gabriel Ikuchuku didn't get any game time ultimately. Ozuenyi, player of the tournament. Chigozie Agbim and the technical team of Nigeria before Stephen Keshi will bring up the rear. His assistant Daniel Amokachi, the penultimate Nigerian player to receive his bronze medal for Africa's current coach of the year, the man that led Nigeria so brilliantly to gold at the African Cup of Nations in South Africa just last year. Receives his bronze medal for guiding Nigeria to a third place finish after success against Zimbabwe today. And warm embrace from the FIFA president Sepp Blatter. Wants a few extra words with Stephen Keshi. He's perhaps hoping to take Nigeria well past the group stages and onto some success with results at the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil starting in June. Signing the match ball, Mohamed Benouza will ask the dignitaries to sign the match ball for him after having received his medal. It's a great day for Mohamed Benouza. Among those who've had luck desert him on the international stage before. Missed out on refereeing at the 2010 FIFA World Cup, as I said, as one of his assistants failed a fitness test. He was not allowed to officiate. It takes charge today and receives just reward. Benouza, Balkrishna Bhutan, Mauritius, Cameroon's Yanusa Musa, and Abubakar Mario Bangura of Guinea receiving their medals. Now for Ghana, huge disappointment for a number of these players. Bonsi in tears following the disappointment of losing in this penalty shootout. Ainusan, first player up for Ghana to collect a medal, and he can take pride from his performances throughout this competition. Some of the French players among those leading their way up onto the podium to collect their winners' medals. The likes of Adade Fole having stepped up. Stephen Adams taking charge, keeping the other goalkeepers at bay. Isaac Moko also losing out on a chance to keep for Ghana at these championships. Some of the players who didn't get opportunities today. Abdul Mohammed came off the bench. Paul Asare, Kennedy Boateng. Limited appearances for the likes of Francis Morton, Alfred Nelson as well. But Ghana, through Maxwell Konadu, gave a few of their players some decent runs. Bonsi, Tijani, who got stuck in during this final. And Bonsi a little unlucky when he didn't find that early goal for Ghana with that looping header. Lacked a little power. Atubra disappointed, but he played his part and he's impressed a few. He's turned a few heads. The technical team of Ghana's Black Stars who come up to collect their respective medals. Every member of this technical team has played a significant role and contributed to the successes and failures of their respective teams. Maxwell Konadu was racked with disappointment, not trying to look brave as he walked past the dignitaries with a silver medal around his neck. He wanted to go one better than the squad of 2009.
African nation South Africa 2014 champions Libya as they step up to collect their winners' medals.
Now time for the champions to make their way up. They've all switched their jerseys around, or just about all of them have switched their jerseys around. Libyan fans, small pocket of them on the far side of the stadium that remain, make noise. El Ghadi the second to receive their medals. Oh, what a performance he put in. Saleh, the only player to score against Ghana in the 6 matches that Ghana played from the penalty mark in their group stage draw. But they've exercised the demons of 1982, this Libyan side. Ghana, having won the 1982 Africa Cup of Nations title on penalties from Libya. Libya, having won the 2014 African Nations Championship title on penalties, having beaten Ghana. And the fringe squad members receiving their medals as well, but still very much a part of the squad and have made their contributions. Ali Salama will be a proud captain. He'll be stepping forward to raise the trophy aloft very shortly. Well, the first thing that the Libyan players did was to go over and find their coach. Huge credit that needs to be given to Javier Clemente, an old friend of Sepp Blatter's. The two are well familiar with one another. 20 years ago, Clemente was high profile on the international stage and coaching a Spanish side. And it's in a sense fitting as well that on the day The world is mourning the loss of the man that started Spain's resurgence, the Spanish coach Luis Aragonés, having passed away earlier today. The Spanish coach would lead a side to success, that side being Libya. Nashnoush following up, collecting his medal, the penultimate player to do so. Ali Salama, the jersey's gone, it's probably being signed, perhaps been claimed by somebody special, but he's waiting to lift the trophy. Issa Hayatou wants to present this to the man who was the hero in the final, Nashnoush, and the captain Ali Salama. The Orange African Nations champions of 2014 are Libya. The Mediterranean Knights have their first piece of continental silverware, and they get to celebrate on the back of what has been an emotional roller coaster for Libya, the North African nation, over the last 3 years. A remarkable run for a side of domestically based players who saw no competitive action, but qualified and not only made their way to this competition, not only made it out of the group stages, but have made it all the way through to the final and claimed the title as well. They want to take the trophy for photographs first. One of the players has snatched the trophy and sent it over to the far side where the fans get to celebrate. Fireworks to erupt above Cape Town Stadium. Precious little fireworks up front for these sides today, but that doesn't detract from the joy of the Libyan players who get to celebrate as victors and champions here in South Africa. The team playing for national pride have claimed exactly that and get to return to Libya as national heroes, no doubt. They will bring absolute joy to a nation that has had precious little to celebrate in recent years, and that is something that is practically invaluable. They've won more than just a trophy and more than just a medal here in South Africa. They have won the pride of a nation, and they've turned some heads doing it. And after the tension of the penalty shootout, the relief was met with the absolute joy of celebration. Libya will celebrate long into the night this continental silverware. Those that say this is not as significant as the Africa Cup of Nations tried to tell Libya that right now. This may be a tournament for domestically based players, but that doesn't detract from their absolute delight becoming champions. It was not the most sensational of victories. It was not the most electrifying campaign. But this is a side that took their encounters and claimed the success. So Libya, debates between the players as to who gets to pose with the trophy. They all want to pose with the trophy. They'll all get their chance, but they're all champions. They should not forget it. They've played a role. Clemente will be celebrated. He needs to be dragged off to a press conference momentarily. But for the players, they're being told they need to round it up. They want the coach posing with the trophy. They want the coach posing with his team as well. And some are still celebrating and acknowledging their fans on the far side of the park. The third champions of the Orange African Nations Championship after the Democratic Republic of Congo and Tunisia. Libya will remember this victory for a long time and will hope for similar success when they host the Africa Cup of Nations in just 3 years' time. Libya unlikely competitors not only qualified, they won it, and they did it in spectacular fashion. They've beaten Ghana on penalties against all odds here in South Africa.